Adaptive planning helps us stay flexible and adjust plans as things change. We use short planning cycles, gather feedback often, and reprioritize when needed. This approach keeps the team responsive, aligned, and ready for unexpected changes. Agile uses adaptive planning, which means plans evolve as clarity emerges rather than being fixed up front like in traditional project management. Techniques such as progressive elaboration and rolling wave planning help teams plan just enough, just in time. Agile planning follows a structured hierarchy: vision, roadmap, release plan, iteration plan, and daily plan, each becoming more detailed as the project progresses. At the vision level, the team defines the big picture purpose and answers why are we building this, such as aiming to deliver a secure digital banking platform for Gen Z users. Adaptive planning helps us adjust plans as priorities or conditions change. At the roadmap level, we focus on high-level features and long-term goals to align stakeholders. At the release level, we break features into deliverables, tie them to business priorities, and plan across multiple sprints. Overall, it keeps teams flexible and responsive while staying aligned with strategic goals. Iteration or sprint planning focuses on near-term work at the user story level with estimates and tasks set for the sprint goal. Daily planning happens through stand-ups where the team aligns on progress, plans, and blockers. We update the task board frequently to reprioritize as needed. This example shows how planning breaks down from vision all the way to daily tasks, keeping work aligned and adaptable. Adaptive planning is about developing a plan in increasing detail as more information becomes available. In Agile, this starts with high-level epics that provide overall direction without too much detail. As these epics get closer to development, they are broken down into smaller, more manageable features and user stories. During this process, estimates and dependencies are revisited to ensure accuracy. The main goal is to remain flexible, respond to new information, and adjust plans progressively rather than following a rigid, fixed plan. This slide covers adaptive planning with a focus on progressive elaboration, meaning plans evolve and gain detail as more information becomes available. Key benefits include reducing rework, enabling faster pivots, and keeping teams focused. The example shows how a government health portal expanded an initial epic into multiple detailed user stories as clarity improved. This slide explains rolling wave planning, where near-term work is planned in detail while future work stays high-level. In Agile, this looks like next sprint, detailed backlog grooming; next release, mid-level epics; next quarter, a broad, theme-based roadmap. It's a way to stay flexible while still keeping a long-term view. This slide highlights that adaptive planning relies on just-in-time planning, helping teams plan only what's needed when it's needed. Key tools that support this approach include roadmap tools like ProductPlan or AHA, backlog grooming sessions, and estimation workshops. These help teams stay flexible and responsive as priorities change. This slide highlights that adaptive planning relies on just-in-time planning, helping teams plan only what's needed when it's needed. Key tools that support this approach include roadmap tools like ProductPlan or AHA, backlog grooming sessions, and estimation workshops. These help teams stay flexible and responsive as priorities change. This slide explains how high-level plans are broken down for adaptive planning. Step 3. The roadmap is split into 3 epics: product browsing, shopping cart, and payments. Step 4. Each epic is then refined into features and user stories. For example, product browsing includes category filtering, which becomes stories like filtering by price or brand. This shows how planning becomes more detailed as you move from epics features stories. This slide shows Step 5. Iteration planning and adaptive development. 3 sprints were executed: basic filtering, cart UI, logic, and UPI setup, testing. The app launched on time with core features. Additional features like personalization and chat support were added after launch. Adaptive planning helps teams adjust continuously using progressive elaboration and rolling wave planning. It enables faster response to market feedback, incremental value delivery, and avoids over-planning. Mastering adaptive planning turns Agile from theory into real, effective practice. This slide compares absolute versus relative estimation in adaptive planning. Absolute estimation uses fixed time units like hours or days but can vary widely and ignores team differences. Relative estimation compares tasks to each other using story points or size indicators. It considers complexity, effort, and uncertainty and is more reliable and sustainable over time. Relative estimation focuses on comparing tasks instead of assigning exact time. It removes pressure of calendar-based deadlines and encourages team collaboration. It also reduces arguments about exact time estimates. Example, if task A is twice as complex as task B 3 points, task A becomes 6 story points. Planning Poker is a collaborative estimation method using Fibonacci-based cards. The product owner presents the user story and the team discusses it. Each member picks a card privately, then all cards are revealed together. High and low estimates explain their reasoning. The team rediscusses and revotes until a consensus is reached. Planning Poker helps teams discuss tasks openly and build shared understanding. It uncovers unknowns early by encouraging different viewpoints. Example, a login screen estimated at 5 points revealed an unexpected API integration issue during discussion. T-shirt sizing is a high-level estimation method used when requirements aren't fully defined. Uses sizes like XS, S, M, L, XL instead of numbers. Commonly used in early road mapping and large-scale planning such as portfolios or epics. This slide shows how T-shirt sizes can be converted into approximate story points. XS, S, M, L, XL are mapped to increasing effort ranges. Example, a marketing team used T-shirt sizing to estimate redesign work across multiple landing pages. Bucket system estimation groups work items into predefined effort ranges like 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, etc. The moderator explains each bucket and team members silently sort tasks. The group reviews and discusses any outliers, then finalizes placement. Example, a startup used this method to sort 15 backlog items and plan a sprint in under 30 minutes. This slide highlights common estimation mistakes to avoid. Don't use estimates to judge individual performance. Avoid micromanaging teams based on story point output. Always revisit and adjust estimates after each sprint to improve accuracy. This slide shows how teams estimate sprint capacity using story points and past velocity. Average velocity from 3 sprints is 30 points, so the team plans around 29 points with a buffer for unexpected work. Result, the team successfully delivered 28 points with improved confidence in their estimates. This slide highlights common tools used for Agile estimation. Jira and Trello offer built-in boards and plugins for planning and story points. Miro and Mural enable collaborative whiteboarding for estimation sessions. Scrum Poker mobile apps help teams run planning poker digitally. Agile planning happens at multiple levels. Release planning sets long-term direction, while sprint planning focuses on near-term work. Adaptive planning helps teams respond faster to change, deliver incremental value, and avoid over-planning. Mastering this approach makes Agile practical and effective in real projects. A sprint goal gives the team a clear focus for the sprint. A good sprint goal should be clear and measurable, tied to the product or release vision and not just a list of tasks. A sprint goal gives the team a clear focus for the sprint. A good sprint goal should be clear and measurable, tied to the product or release vision and not just a list of tasks. Relative estimation helps teams plan sprint work clearly and collaboratively. Key steps include setting the sprint goal, selecting backlog items, defining acceptance criteria, and optionally breaking work into tasks. Best practices: keep a buffer for surprises, ensure scope is understood by everyone, and clearly define what done means. Release planning links short-term iterations with the long-term product vision. Key elements include setting a target release date or milestone, defining high-level features using team velocity for forecasting, managing risk, for example buffer sprints, types of release planning, fixed date, variable scope, date is locked. Scope may change, fixed scope, variable date, all features must be delivered. Timeline may shift, fixed date and fixed scope, high risk, requires strong expectation management. Release planning uses backlog priorities, past velocity, and team availability. It produces a release roadmap, a rough sprint schedule, and clear expectations for stakeholders. Helps align near-term work with long-term goals and keeps everyone on the same page. Release planning uses backlog priorities, past velocity, and team availability. It produces a release roadmap, a rough sprint schedule, and clear expectations for stakeholders. Helps align near-term work with long-term goals and keeps everyone on the same page. This example shows an adaptive release plan for an e-commerce app. Goal: deliver core shopping features before the Diwali sales event. Initial roadmap included browsing, cart updates, checkout, and wish list. During execution, Burndown showed delays after Sprint 2 due to integration issues, leading to an extra spike story in Sprint 3. Final outcome: core features released 1 week before Diwali. Wishlist was postponed, but main shopping flow worked successfully. Post-launch user experience was positive with an NPS score of 4.65. This slide wraps up adaptive planning. Key message: agile planning helps teams stay aligned with product vision, adjust quickly based on feedback, and maintain transparency with stakeholders. For PMIACP professionals, mastering release and iteration planning is essential for effective leadership and value delivery. Agile also relies on proactive and iterative risk management to handle uncertainty and keep delivering value continuously. Spike stories are short, time-boxed research tasks to reduce uncertainty before development. Use spikes when dealing with new tech, unfamiliar APIs, security standards, or UX research. Example: investigate Oath 2.0 payment gateway integration within 2 days. Benefits: improves planning accuracy, reduces ambiguity, and encourages innovation without fear of failure. Agile doesn't add large schedule slack. Instead, teams manage uncertainty more actively. Teams keep a small buffer in sprint capacity, around 10%, to handle unexpected work. Low priority stretch stories are included in case extra time is available. High-risk items get contingency plans to protect delivery. Example: a sprint exploring AI chat integration included a short spike to research NLP options, preventing delays later. In Agile, risks are managed directly within the backlog. Teams add spike stories, risk-specific acceptance criteria, or mitigation tasks. Backlog items are prioritized based on the severity and likelihood of risk. Example: a high-security risk story may be prioritized above a minor UI fix. Agile backlogs often include risk-related items such as technical debt, security vulnerabilities, and regulatory compliance. Risks are continuously identified and managed within sprints, not handled separately. Example: in a fintech app project, risks like API injection, poor session handling, and PCI compliance were found early. Agile tools like RAID logs and risk burndowns help teams track and prioritize risks effectively. During sprints, teams take specific actions to manage security and technical risks. Examples include researching vulnerabilities, adding authentication features, and including security steps in the definition of done. Teams also adopt strong practices such as daily stand-ups to resolve blockers, pairing with security experts, and ensuring each user story clearly traces associated risks. Agile adaptive planning helps teams manage risk within the backlog. Risks are incorporated as spike stories, acceptance criteria, and mitigation tasks. Teams prioritize backlog items based on risk severity and urgency. Higher-risk items may be scheduled earlier, for example, a major security feature taking priority over minor UI fixes.